1962. At the time, I was suspended without pay, released to my captain, who were the heaviest workers. I had to report to him every morning at 11 o'clock. 3 weeks later, I was tried in criminal court. That no longer happens, but it did back in those days.
Thank you. Okay, so this looks like we're getting into the heart of things now. I want to make it clear. Please state your name, ask the question of the panel, if it's for 1 minute, and we will give them an opportunity to respond for 1 minute. But if you wish to testify, this is not your opportunity to testify. This is your opportunity to ask a question of the panel. And if time allotted, you'll be able to testify at the next debate. Thank you.
Thank you, Delegate Carter. My name is Brian Patterson. I'm a lawyer in Arundel County. I don't practice in the criminal field. This is not a personal issue for me, but it's a very interesting public policy question. I think it was Captain Anderson that pointed out state law that prohibits the city of Baltimore from hiring young cadets if they have like a possession of marijuana conviction, for example. And I think the implication of the answer was that the city of Baltimore would be willing or even happy to hire these folks if the state law was changed. And I think the same principle applies to some of the other state laws we've been talking about, like the 10-day rule, and like the prohibition against civilian investigation and civilian or independent hearings in the case of police officers. So my question is, if the people of the city of Baltimore, or whether it's Salisbury or Garrett County, wanted to be able to have independent review of the law enforcement agencies that they're paying for and that are living in their community and that are protecting their community, or if they wanted to abolish the 10-day rule in their community, is there a reason why, and would that impair law enforcement in your view, or is that something that you think the leadership in Baltimore could support?
The 10-day rule
The 10-day rule and independent or civilian investigation, and currently you're prohibited from doing these things. Supervisors are prohibited by state law. All we're talking about is changing the state law to allow it to be decided at the local level. Is that so wrong?
I don't think these officers today can testify on changes to the LEOPR. That's part of the reason why we're having today's hearing, is to see where we would like to see changes. So we don't care what, I mean, look, obviously, they want to keep it the same. We want to hear what you guys say.
And so my question is really just from a law enforcement perspective, would it help or hurt if supervisors in a police department could get a statement from an officer in less than 10 days?
You can answer that if you want.
Again, we're not trying to dance around anything here. I mean, we know that the LEOBR is under review. Us, the panel here, the captain, the two Colonel Green and myself, we're not the ultimate policy makers in the police department. We understand the issues with the LEOBRs, but we can't come to a conclusion at this point with that. It's under review. We'd like to discuss about it more. We like to see things happening in the future, but we just at this point can't discuss it.
Next question.
I'm Kiara Butler. I'm a cousin of Tyrone West, Officer D'Souza. You were in charge of the officers of Northeast District that murdered my cousin. Could you explain why Chris Jennings was never suspended and he was also at the vigil of Tyrone West a few days after he was murdered? On your watch?
You talking about an officer?
Yes.
Corey Jennings?
Chris Jennings, and he was never suspended,
I'm not sure.
and he was also at the vigil.
Yeah, I'm not sure of a Chris Jennings. I know of a Corey Jennings in the Northeast District. I'm not familiar with Chris Jennings, though. Maybe you could share that a little bit later. I'm not sure who you're referring to.
question.
My name is Jerome Bivens. I'm a criminal lawyer. I've been practicing in Baltimore City for over 30 years, first 18 years at the public defender's office. But that's not important. My question to you officers, you representatives of the people, is this course in the academy that's going to be teaching these new recruits that may come from Pennsylvania, Kentucky, who is going to teach that course that endeavors to introduce these officers to our culture? And also, this force investigation team, I couldn't find the link on your website just now. I'm just learning how to use my smartphone, so that's my fault. But how many civilians, how many regular folks, how many non-police officers are on the force investigation team? Now, I gotta go, because I gotta go to the bathroom and I gotta do some personal jump off.
From the community orientation.
Next question. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, the list is still being put together, who's going to be doing it. There will be citizens from the community that are going to do it. And if anybody's interested, Captain Automax is at the end of the day.
I didn't. Next question.
Yes. In Fields versus State and Coakley versus State murder case, the officer is still working and has been promoted. He had it substantiated that he had theft in his file, that he perjured himself in court. Do you know anything about that? And why is he still working?
Sorry, what's the officer's name?
I don't know about it. I don't know that.
Is it Baltimore City?
It's Coakley and Fields versus State.
I'm not familiar with that case.
I'll tell you, Carrie Sneed.
Thank you. Next question.
I'm concerned. I think it's great that we're going to start fresh with the new trainees, but so far, none of them have killed anybody that anybody in this room loves or has beaten them. So my real concern, and this includes body cams, what about the officers that are repeat offenders? And what's the name of that hit squad that killed, responsible for killing Anthony Anderson? There you have it. They were responsible for the death of Anthony Anderson, murdered in front of his family for Tyrone West. They were responsible for beating Abdul's mom. That's just who I know. So I have to ask you, while training on the bottom is terrific, what are we going to do about this unit? Is brutal. They're brutal killers. What's being done about training them?
So to talk about different types of forces being used in investigations, one thing that definitely has done is the conviction rate for child wars. Conviction rate for child wars is up 85% compared to last year. So we're making better improvements in the conviction rate. As far as the special enforcement section team that they're talking about, they have been reformed. They're now going to wear clear identification of their police officers before they allow their not being clearly marked. So this is some of the changes being made. And then when the incident actually happens, and they'll come with the force investigation team, we have to present to the police commissioner in 72 hours of what we found in the community on the scene, and then he'll make a determination of whether the officer goes back in the street, whether the officer goes to training. That's going to be done in 72 hours.
Thank you, Colonel. I'm just going to ask to speak a little, I know you're trying to do it quickly, but I believe next time a little slower and closer to the mic, because I was having trouble hearing, even I'm sure some people in the room did too.
Good afternoon. I'm Kevin Cranford. I'm the Deputy Director of Maryland Normal, which is the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. We heard earlier that marijuana seems to be the main reason why a lot of young black males aren't getting into the system itself. Also, marijuana and drug laws are the reason that cops can get into your house, get into your car, get into your pockets. So with the decriminalization coming up, or that just passed, I want to know how will Baltimore cops be policing paraphernalia laws? Because those have not been tweaked yet, but that is another way that they can criminalize marijuana. And also, if after 6 months to a year, it's shown that marijuana tickets are still being disproportionately given to blacks and whites, what actions will the police department take to rectify that?
So as far as policy goes, the written director is falling. We've actually redid our policy on enforcing marijuana laws with the new marijuana under 10 grams policy, a law that is put in place. So the officers now issue citations. They also have the option not to issue citations, but they do have to seize the contraband, and then it's sent to the court for to pay the fines. They're also being trained on how to do this. So we have a training video for the officers outlining how to enforce the law. And we do know the paraphernalia more than likely will be equalized visually. So we're not going out to enforce the paraphernalia or instructing officers to come in and do it.
Thank you. Delegate Frank Conway has a question. Follow-up.
Well, it's not a question, but I really need to respond to the question that was asked. There's no way that the officers can tell exactly what you have, what the substance is, unless they take you in and take you to central booking and have substance analyzed. If you have a plastic bag, you will be locked up. You will be facing a charge. I think the charge is a misdemeanor, but it's 2 years and I think $500. So just because you get this ticket for whatever the substances that you have, the container that it's in, that's going to get you in trouble. So don't believe that the paraphernalia is, nothing, because that is the smoking gun. That's the charge.
Thank you. And briefly, I want to acknowledge that we've been joined by Delegate Nathaniel Oakes, who you heard about earlier as a big champion of strengthening civilian review. And also, we've been joined in the audience by Delegate-elect Dave Lisi. Thank you very much for coming. And I think it really speaks volumes about these newly elected legislators that they've taken the time before even getting sworn in to come and hear from you. And also, Delegate-elect Corey McRae is over there on the left. Thank you very much.
How y'all doing? So I have a quick question, but I want to introduce myself. I'm Sarah. I'm here representing the Baltimore People's Power Assembly, also FIST Youth Group, Fighting Terrorism, Stand Together, and we're a youth activism group out for social justice. Right now, we're against the city curfew because we feel like it further is giving cops more authority to kill our youth. And we actually support the Tyrone West family was there at the Solidarity Center when we was going off to Ferguson, and we feel that it's very important to have solidarity demonstrations like this because not only are people getting killed here in Baltimore, but people are getting killed worldwide by terrorists. And we have emergency press release tomorrow at 2 p.m. at the Kelvin Square, and if the grand jury decision is announced tomorrow, also we'll have a protest the same day, same place. My quick question is, why is it that these cops, somebody already asked this question, but who's going to teach these officers? Is it going to be somebody from the outside? Also, why is it that y'all have so many provisions on who can enter the police department, but there's no provisions on y'all? Y'all could come from anywhere. Y'all can kill people and still keep your job, but a black man in the city of Baltimore cannot provide for that child because of a plastic bag. But y'all can go out and kill a whole human being and still be able to provide for your child. And I have my 5-year-old daughter right here because I'm a single mother and I'm an advocate for this because we're tired of y'all killing our youth. We're tired. And also, this the People's Power Assembly, really quick, we have a campaign to introduce community control over the police, inspired by the 1971 Black Panthers Party. This is proposing Baltimore City Community Control Board, also cop watch and community patrols, indict killer cops, and stop racism. Thank you.
Sorry, what's the question?
I have a question regarding the use of data, use of force data that y'all posted. Part of what we do is catalog or archive all the use of force incidents individually. We've come across numerous instances which y'all haven't reported on. That's first, I want to know the protocol on that and determining that. The other thing I want to know is regards to body cameras, whether or not you believe that, as Liz said over there, that officers in the special enforcement section and violent repeat. Officers should be the first to be out there with the body cameras and how that, well, that's about it. And then mainly, right here is a letter that we wrote in April 11th, 2014, that we've been giving you on 6 different occasions regarding our public information request for data regarding police involvement since 2001, officers, misconduct, and all that. We'd love to have an answer at some point in the next year.
You can get a copy of the letter after you look at it.
There's a couple. I'm going to see you see this.
All right. I think your first question was about the numbers on the website. You're referring to the Force Investigation Team website?
Yes.
Okay. So that is not every use of force in the police department. That's only the ones we consider categorical use of force. And those are the ones that's actually police-involved shootings, in custody deaths, or case where a citizen was actually committed to the hospital. So that's the only case that we have posted on the website. So you're correct, those numbers are not the same as what you're seeing. The total, give me a second, I can hear, we have the total numbers for this year.
I know about this year, but I'm saying how we've been requesting for it. I know you guys are starting to put the information of like number of lawsuits and all that starting from now. We'd love to go and see the pattern and the trend. You know, at least in the last 2 years.
Yeah, and we're putting that all together, so, I gave my name and stuff, we can talk about it offline. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Christina Martin, and I am the principal for a campaign titled Accountability and Justice in Medical Abuse and Foster Care Corruption. I have a police report that indicates my daughter reported being assaulted and my 2 grandchildren with her were well. I have a CPS report that said those same children were well. I have a DSS report that said those children were not abused and neglected. 8 years later, I am still asking for my grandchildren. I went to the department, to the police department, June 17th, a missing persons report was issued. I followed up. Missing persons unit informed me that they don't investigate missing persons reports, that I should contact homicide. I contacted homicide, who said that that was incorrect. I needed to contact missing persons. 2 weeks later, my grandson was pronounced dead, either July 2nd or July 3rd, while in foster care. We know that there's 8 years of medical abuse. My granddaughter is still missing in the system. I'm saying at this point, what in the hell is going on here in Baltimore City?
We're not familiar with the case. So you want to give us the information, I can look into it, but I don't.
You can Google his name, Lamar, D-A-M-A-U-D, Martin. Nobody dies twice, and nobody should be in a system for abused and neglected children when they were never abused and neglected.
Okay, if you like, once it's done, I can get information, I can look into it, but I don't have the information right now.
I will certainly will.
Thank you.
1 minute. Doc Cheatham, request. 3 of the organizations serving on the Civilian Review Board are basically police related. Police Commissioner's Office, Vanguard, and FOD. I have a relationship with all 3 past years and current years. We would like to meet with all 3 this week to discuss your support for our efforts to strengthen the Civilian Review Board. We do not want to see ourselves pitted against each other, the community against the police. So we like to have all 3 groups. We're asking the police department to call the meeting for us, but we want to sit down. We think you agree that we need to strengthen the review board. So we want to meet with y'all this week, FOP, Vanguard, Baltimore City Police Department, to be supportive of us strengthening our civilian review board. So that is a request. And you could,
Include me in that, Doc.
with our great delegate and our chair, Delegate Jill Carter, requesting a formal request for a meeting.
Yes, sir.
My name is Ray Kelly. I'm the president of the No Boundaries Coalition in Central West Baltimore. We actually, the 7 neighborhoods surrounding the Pennsylvania Main Street Carter. So we've been doing a safety initiative this year. We've actually set up meetings. We've been working with the police department to try to find out what we can do to increase residents and police visibility in our corridor. So we've had visibility walks, we've had community gatherings, we've been bringing residential visibility. And here, 10 months after all this work, we get a meeting that says the funding is ended, there's no money to patrol Pennsylvania Avenue. So, in essence of time, my question in the beginning of my campaign was, how do we obtain community support? And I'm beyond it. How do we convince all of these people that any of this stuff is for real if you won't invest in the basic thing, which is patrols on the streets? You have the data that says it works, you have resident visibility every day, you got organizations willing to work with you. Why is something that's working not being supported by the park?
Yeah, I'd like to work with you, sir, on the increased visibility. Data shows, statistics shows that when the community groups work together, you get a reduction in crime. Last night, and again tonight, we actually had young officers that came from the academy that graduated several weeks ago. Before they get the right to go in the patrol car and actually work, they have to pay like a rite of passage. And they're deployed on the streets on foot. They were on foot last night. I was there 7 p.m. to 4 this morning. They'll be here again, up and down.
But as organizations, how can we get committed support, not just committed dialogue?
Sure. And if you can give me your contact information, I'd love to work with you.
I actually believe I have a meeting with Commander Green on the 1st, so going in, we want everybody there to make it happen.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Upshur. I'm a student at the University of Baltimore School of Law. I'm also a member of the University of Baltimore School of Law's Black Law Students Association. What I need of you gentlemen today is simply a list of reasons why we are so slow in implementing body cameras.
So as I stated earlier today when I was speaking, the issue of body cameras have a lot of things we're looking at. One is the privacy, as I talked about earlier, when the officer should or should not have his body camera running. The funding for body cameras, Maryland Public Information Act. Some agencies are, if you look at the media now, some agencies are having problems with fulfilling the MPI requests. So that's some of the things that we're looking at. There's two committees. There's a city with the mayor's put in place to look at this project. Also, there's a state panel that's also looking at it. So there will be recommendations coming out in the near future to the mayor and to the state so they can see the different recommendations from the panel.
I just wanted to make sure I'm clear. It's privacy, when they should be on, costs, and the Maryland Public Information Act?
That's some of the issues, yes.
Which one's that, Mr. Sorry?
Sorry, say it again?
Which one's that, Mr. Sorry?
So you also have the storage issue, the video storage. You have the training issues you have to look at. You have the type of cameras you have to can use. So there's multiple type of cameras out there we can look at. You have the type of cameras the officer can wear on top of their glasses on the head. You have the kind that can be on their chest. And you have the kind that can be on the mic. So we have to look at which ones are the best cameras as well. We don't want to have a situation where an incident happens and the camera doesn't capture it, or it's not, it's facing the wrong direction. We want the camera, we want things to be proper. We want to get one chance to get this right.
My name is Bill Good. Young ladies already let me know I only have 1 hour. Well, listen, first of all, I'm going to raise a couple questions and I'm going to make a couple statements. Just to show the comparison with what's happening in Ferguson and what's happening in Baltimore. What is the percentages of black officers that we have